We're in Raccoon Creek, which is a small tributary to the Delaware River.
Villanova University marine scientist Nathaniel Weston studies salt and freshwater marshes. With support from the National Science Foundation, he and his team are investigating how climate change and sea level rise may impact these productive ecosystems.
When you have sea level rise on the ocean end and potentially less fresh water coming down on the river end, that's going to move the salt water up into potentially what had been a freshwater marsh. For the organisms living there, the plants, the animals, the bacteria, that's a big change.
Weston says as the Earth's climate gets hotter, ocean water warms up and expands, causing higher sea levels. And runoff from melting ice sheets and glaciers will dump even more water into the oceans. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, chartered by the United Nations, estimates sea levels may rise up to 23 inches by the year 2100. It's tough, muddy work at the field sites.
This is a surface elevation table, and what we'll do with this is very accurately measure the elevation of the marsh surface at a couple of set sites that we have out here. 151. This staircase is what we're using to simulate different sea levels. How are the plants responding to being flooded more often and at a greater depth? All right, putting it in is the easy part. Getting it out is always fun.
In the lab, soil samples are weighed and dried. Weston wants to determine sedimentation rates at the sites he studies to learn more about how the marsh landscape is changing. He says more intense storms and hurricanes could magnify sea level rise in coastal areas.
Lots of people are living close to sea level. They're going to be much more vulnerable to these extreme events 50 years in the future, and you could expect to see much greater numbers of storm-related deaths and property damage in coastal areas.
Healthy marshes act as buffers during a storm surge, nurseries for young fish and shellfish, and a water filtering system. Protecting them over time will be key to keeping us healthy, too. For Science Nation, I'm Miles O'Brien.